Still not used to that. Hey guys, welcome to the team call. We do this call every Thursday, and it's your go-to place to figure out what's working, what's not working, and to see kind of what other people are up to. I used to say what people look like other than a little thumbnail, but that's like before there was Facebook Live videos and everything, and like everything was videos, because way back in the day, all you saw was people's profile pictures. But now with technology, that's how long I've been coaching, guys. But anyway, super excited about this call this evening and just this week in general. I want to first give a shout out to Kelly, who went full-time as a coach. Basically, she said, but in the beginning, hey, I'm going to go full-time. I need to earn this much to quit my job. Watch, because I'm gonna. And she did. So that's pretty amazing. Congratulations, young lady. Super excited about that. Your team is growing and you're changing lives, and it's gonna be fun for you to finally see some of those people in St. Louis, like you were just talking about. Sorry, suddenly I have something in my eye making me cry a little bit. Not really, but I mean, I really did have something in my eye. I don't cry. But anyway, so we're going to be hearing from Laura tonight. You guys know Laura too, right? We've heard from her recently. Super excited to hear basically about what she's going to do to be intentional. Look at that. Yeah, see, it's kind of what I think. I'm going out on a limb here that that Laura might be able to kind of tie into that, where it's about being intentional. It's about doing things on purpose and not just saying, well, I'm going to work my business more in July, or yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to lose some weight in July, right? It's about being intentional and setting out a plan for it, because if you fail to plan, what is the saying? If you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. That's it. And and it's one of those things where you can really help not only yourself, but other people, your challengers too. Because when I say, hey, what would you like to do? And they're like, well, I want to lose some weight. And I'm like, okay, well, that's sure. But like if you lose half a pound, you're like, hey, mission accomplished. I made my goal. So you need to be specific about that. And you need to have a time frame. And so, I'm taking a stab in the dark a little bit here about what Laura's going to talk about, but I think it's going to be about being intentional with what you're going to do for this particular month. And now I'm going to be quiet and mute myself and turn it over. Thanks, Laura, for sharing with us.
No problem. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to speak tonight, guys. This is one of my favorite topics, and I know some of you have been with me. You've heard me speak about this before, and it was valuable enough you came back. So I think that's the mark that something is worthwhile. So I am going to see if I can share my screen. Yes, I can. Let me see if I can pull my presentation up. Are you looking at something that says intentions, monthly intentions? Okay. All right. So let me get started. So I've been doing the same presentation for about the last 3 or 4 months. So you'll notice some of the months it says are back, but that's fine because it's the same content. Before I get started, let me just give you a little journey that maybe will help you with this. So I have been a coach for a long time, and in November of last year, I was really struggling in general. I was like, I either need a therapist or a life coach or a life change. Like, I didn't know what I was doing, but I wasn't myself, and I was really not feeling good. And so I have a friend who is a life coach, and she offers a 1 hour, actually I do a podcast type thing with her called Spaghetti on the Wall. So Jackie, if you've ever seen me talk about spaghetti on the wall. Anyways, she offers like a free 1 hour thing, deep dive, whatever. So I did that, and I literally was like, you guys know me, I was like crying over like nothing. Like I just wasn't okay. And she had a group coming up, so I was like, I will pay you hundreds of dollars because it's either that or therapy. So let's see what happens. Coincidentally, the 1K club happened at the same time. So I don't know what turned me around. I actually think it's the 1K club, if you want to know the truth. But what I gained from my time with Coach Jackie is I gained this practice of monthly intentions. And so I'm going to share it with you. And it has literally been transformative. Like, I'm talking, if you put this into place, you will change your life. And I'm reading right now, I messaged this to Kelly today. I'm reading some hippy dippy crap these days, okay? Like, I told my husband, I'm like one step away from crystals, I think. I don't know. I'm into some hippy dippy crap. But I was reading this manifesting book today, and it was literally talking about intentions. And it was like talking about, like, you should talk positively to water, because there's research that like the water will change its molecular structure or something, and then you should drink this water all day long. I'm like, I am into some hippy dippy crap, but I'm not going to go that hippy dippy for you right now. I'm going to tell you a practice that literally has transformed my life. And there's been other coaches on this team that have made some major transformations as a result of this too. And so I can't encourage this enough. And I learned it from working with my life coach. So I got to take you back to, I guess this would be at the new year. At the new year, that's my husband, Josh. So me and my husband, Josh. So at the new year, I wanted to make a vision board. I had always heard that a vision board was like the way to go. And Kelly just held up her vision board a minute ago. I think that was the one for this year. No, which was that from years ago, huh? She can't find mute. It's like she's Lori.
That was actually my 2020 vision board. And I did, or no. 20, wait, what are we in? Yeah, 2020, my bad. Yes, that last year.
Yeah. Okay. So I had always heard of vision boards. Everyone talks about them. I've never done one, right? So I was like, I'm going to start 2021 off with a vision board. Like, no one told me to do this. I just wanted to do it. So I said to Josh, and this, I just feel like anyone who has a spouse who, you know, maybe doesn't always get you, like, should appreciate this. I said to Josh, I go, Josh, can we like talk about our dreams and our vision for this next year? And he's like, what are you like? No, like, that's stupid. No, I'm not. And like, so like the next day or so, I forget when it was, he's like, fine, we'll do your vision crap. He's like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, oh, well, like, I don't know what I want to do. So then I Google search, like, how do you make a vision board on the spot, and found this, graphic organizer, and I printed 2 of them out, and then I had like some structure because I'm a teacher, right? So I'm like, let's take 10 minutes and let's fill it out, and then we'll talk. He's like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, so like literally every step of the way he was fighting me on like doing this. But we finally came up with a system, and he wrote his visions and I wrote my visions, and then we talked about our visions. And so before I did a vision board, because my marriage is very important to me, and my harmony in my home is very important, right? So I don't want my vision to be in opposition to what my family is wanting. Like, that doesn't feel good to me. So it was important that I got his kind of views first. From there, I created this vision board. So this vision board hangs on my wall here in my office. And it has so many things that are meaningful to me on this. Now, I realize most people may not write down everything in text on a vision board, but you know, you do you. This is what made sense to me and how I wanted to do my vision board. So I made this vision board, and I want to tell you a few things on the board that I think are significant to know. I wanted a new kitchen, a completely new kitchen, a new backyard. If you see here, I wanted to be a 2-star for Q2. I am 1-star currently. When I was a diamond. I said that I wanted to, somewhere on here is Josh's birthday. Make Josh's birthday memorable. So there's just, it's all over the place. It's not just Beachbody. It was about my life, what I want my life to look like, right? So I set all this stuff up. You know, first one, I earned 50,000 in 2021, you know, like I just tangible goals. All right. So what I learned from Jackie was this. She taught me she said, one of the things that you need to do is get in touch with your like inner creative side, your inner child. She goes, that's something that most of us don't tap, our creative side, which is true. Like I'm really learning that as an adult, there's a lot of us who have kind of shut that down. So she's like, get out the crayons, get out the markers, and write down your stuff. So what you see here is my February vision board. Now, what's cool about this, so I want to kind of point out a few things to you that I did. Everything you're seeing there, well, first of all, I'm a teacher, so I like, of course, had to find some sheet that said the month, and then I had to color that to make it pretty. But what you're seeing there is I wrote different things that I wanted to do in that month in marker. Now, this was an important step in my opinion. That vision board I made was for the year 2021. When I read through that vision board, some of the things did not resonate with me, right? That was like not a priority, whereas other things felt huge priority. So a big part of this is getting in touch with where your inner desires are at the time, right? What's pulling you at the time is a really important thing. Just because you wrote it on a vision board, if it's not speaking to you in that month, it's okay. Like go with where you're feeling that energy. And so I wrote all these things down, and then you can see in pen, I went around and I either added like this, be open to growth, embrace the fun. That was like more the emotion that I wanted behind each of those things. Let go of the plan, you know, just different emotional connections. This one, promote 3 emeralds. That's not emotional. I just wanted 3 emeralds, but but generally that's what you're seeing there. But I want to show you something. So I wrote at the top left, schedule and plan an amazing date night for Josh and I where we're connected and having fun. So this was February, clearly. COVID was alive and freaking well. I live in Washington, D.C. area. So like, you know, I realize the country has handled it differently. Washington, D.C. has handled it very seriously the entire time. So we are heavily in COVID, like caution land. And so I said to Josh, I said, look, we haven't had a date night in forever. You know, I wrote this down the next night I said, let's go have a date night. Well, guys, that date night, that we hadn't talked about a date night since March of 2020. That date night, I said, I'm open to whatever. He ended up planning us a trip 2 hours away in Charlottesville, Virginia. We got an overnight babysitter. We had a blast. We went to this college town. We rode scooters all through the city for a couple hours. I mean, we went to this cool pizza place. We went to a brewery, a winery. I mean, because we are luscious, we did all the things, right? And we had so much fun. And I gotta tell you, if I hadn't written that down on a vision board, I'm not sure what would have happened, right? Because I put it into action. Another thing on here, I'm trying to see if it's on here. Maybe it's not on this one. So that was a huge deal. Another thing that connects to that date night though, is that when Josh made that date night, he called for hotels and he used, we like to say Embassy Suites, and there was no Embassy Suites there, but he got us a Hilton hotel, and apparently we had Hilton points. So the hotel ended up being like $20, which was amazing. But beyond that, they happened to say, get this, that night when I said I'm open to a date night, I also showed him my vision board, I think, and I said, it's your 40th birthday this year. If you want to do something big, we can. So when he called for that hotel, they said, well, are you interested in going to Fort Lauderdale or Vegas or blah, 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 list all these places. He goes, yeah, Vegas, sure, tell me about Vegas. Well, he ended up booking us a trip to Vegas we're going on this month for his 40th birthday with like, I mean, it just all came together. And it's all, in my opinion, because I wrote it on a freaking board and I spoke it into the universe, that this is important to me. And it was met. And so that was a big deal. So then March comes. So one thing you should know about me, I care about my Beachbody business a lot, maybe too much, but I think I might, one day leave my job even. I'm really into my Beachbody business. And so the bad part about that is that I sometimes have a hard time putting the business down so I can have fun. That can be very hard for me. And so if you look up, just so you know, in March is insane in my house because my oldest daughter is March 18th, her birthday. My youngest is March 20th, and I'm March 30th. So the, planning kid parties and making sure everyone's excited and blah, blah, it all falls on mom, and so March is crazy. So you can see up at the top left, I said, make 3 birthdays be special. Olivia, Abby, and Laura, that's OAL. And then it says in the top right, have an awesome visit with Clayton, C3 and M. That's Josh's brother, sister-in-law, and their 2 kids. Guys, you got to understand, I do the Beachbody stuff most of the time. So all the Beachbody stuff you're seeing on here, that stuff I work towards all the time. I have such a hard time calming my butt down and just enjoying the people around me sometimes. And writing these 2 things made it so I enjoyed March so much. One other thing I can remember, actually, this is about February. In February, we were in the 1K club still, and there was a push for diamond, if I remember right. I think I'm remembering this right. And I did not push as hard as I could have for what I was trying to do, because I knew with this that I had clarity of when I wanted to get it by. Like you can see it on here. It was 2-star by May 19th. And at that point I was like, no, maybe, I can't remember the timeline on all this, but it made it so when that external push was there pushing me, I had clarity on what I wanted. And guys, your Beachbody business will do so much more when you have clarity on where you want the business to go, because there's going to be a lot of shiny things all the time. And that's what I love about this business. There's so many exciting things. There's so many calls you can listen to and things you can do and actions you can take. But you've got to get clarity of what you want out of your life. And Beachbody goals are definitely a part of your life, but you've got to figure out where your energy is and how you want to spend it. I think I show up better for my business when I know where I want to be overall. So those were those 2 months, and it was transformative. Now, these are other people's monthly intentions from Coach Jackie's group. I saw other people's intentions, and I can share this slideshow if you want to see. She largely works with people in other like MLM type companies, so a lot of them will be goals that look somewhat familiar to us. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is, I didn't call this a goal setting workshop. I did not say that. And so you've got to realize this isn't about goals, it's about intentions. And I am very goal oriented. If you looked, most of the stuff I wrote in marker was like a goal. That's why I went back around with the pen to make the intentions. So like goals, versus intentions. Intentions are about coming from your heart and coming from the inside, who you want to show up as a person in this life. Like, what level of happy are you looking for? Do you want to be a person with patience? Do you want to be a person who's present in the moment? Do you want to be a person who is confident? You know, those inner drivers. That's what intentions are about. It's where you're letting your values drive you. It's focusing on the present. Don't focus on the past. Don't focus on the future. In the present, what do you want to be? How do you want to show up? Even when everything's crumbling around you and people are chaotic and your mother's fighting with your, sister or whatever, how do you want to show up in this life? Even when you lost a coach, how do you want to show up? Do you want to be reactionary, or do you want to have a certain presence about you? That's what the intentions are about. And so you're focusing on your long-term growth. It's not about just getting to this goal. It's about how you want to show up day in, day out to get to those goals. And so at the bottom of this sheet, there's a few examples that really help me with this idea. So like that first one, swimming, a goal would be to swim 10 laps in 15 minutes. And intention is to swim with calmness and finesse from first lap to last. The studying one, goal is to read one chapter before bedtime, and intention is to read to absorb and enjoy. By the way, that one means a lot to me because that's actually something I learned. I'm Christian. I read the Bible. I like the Bible. I used to read one chapter. I used to make these goals like you got to read a chapter. Now I can just read one verse and I can just freaking resonate on it for 20 minutes and be happy as all get out because I've let go of these arbitrary numbers and I've really realized what I want out of something, right? And so you can show up in a different place when you have that clarity of what you want out of it. Oh, and the nutrition one, I shouldn't skip that with us. The nutrition one, goal, I got to move this thing, sorry. The goal is to chew food at least 20 seconds per mouthful. The intention is to savor every bite, right? Like, so it's a different way of thinking. Now I got to tell you, for me personally, guys, I'm not breaking up with goals. I love the goals, right? Like that's the goals drive me. But when I added the emotional piece to it of how I want to show up for the goal, that changed me. And that's a big difference because last month I wrote down on my intention, I wrote that I wanted 2-star diamond and I wanted it, but I didn't have it totally in my heart. Does that make sense? Have you ever had that goal that you want, but the energy isn't quite there because maybe a lack of confidence or what, like there's a lot of reasons, but I wrote it. And even as I was writing it, I wasn't feeling it in my heart. And it's not that surprising. I didn't make 2-star diamond last month. You know what I mean? Like this month, I actually have 0 question. Like, guys, I'm going to be in 2-star diamond qualification this month of March. I mean, it's on a recording. It's going to happen. I don't even question it. It's there. But I didn't have that last month. And I wrote it down. And as I was writing it, I wasn't feeling it, you know? And so part of this journey is like hacking yourself and figuring out what you actually want. And sometimes it's not as clear as it may seem. So here's my suggestions on how to do this for all you newbies. First of all, I suggest that you brainstorm. So first thing is check your calendar. Look at your month of July. What do you have going on? I'm going to be honest. I'm going to Myrtle Beach for a week. I'm going to St. Louis for a week. And I'm going to Vegas for 5 days. All that's in July. So you know what? Like, I'm going to have an amazing month. But in terms of what I want to do, like, maybe it will only say 2-star diamond for beach body. Like that's a good goal, you know? So check your calendar. See, be realistic about what you have. Don't set a goal that you realistically don't want to put the time into this month. Like that's crazy. And then if you have a vision board, survey it. If you haven't made one, I highly recommend it. And I recommend, you know, taking a chunk of a day to actually put some thought into it. If you have older monthly intentions, survey them and think about what served you and what didn't, what still resonates, what doesn't. Consider areas of your life you want to continue the way they are. Like that can be on your board, things that are going right, that you want to keep going right. Consider things you want to do differently. And most of all, consider the emotions you want to feel. How do you want to feel each day? And then when you go to do your final draft, only put down the things that really mattered to you. You can brainstorm all kinds of things, but if they're not like if it's not really speaking to you, then don't put it down. And then write them down as goals, but in the present. Write it as if it's already happened. Don't Don't try, don't someday, don't maybe. Like, write that stuff as if it's happened. Which reminds me, I'm going to pause for a minute on that list and tell you something. Guys, my husband's a business owner, and his business was decimated by COVID. And we live off my salary, my teacher's salary in our home. When I put down on that vision board that I wanted a new kitchen and a new backyard, there was no vision for how that could happen. Zero. We ended up doing a refi that I just didn't think about and all that. We are now going to completely redo our entire first floor. We also took on a higher mortgage. My husband has figured out how to bring some money from his business into our home so that we can do this. Guys, if I would have let what is possible go on that vision board, that wouldn't have gone on. You must have the ability to trust and have faith and believe in things that you cannot see. If you can't do that, it's very hard to achieve these big goals. Impossible, I would say. You must be able to believe things are possible that you haven't been able to make possible before. So, sorry, back to the list. It says go back over and come up with the intention. So after you do the goals, I like to go back through with the emotions second, because that makes more sense. It doesn't have to be that way. This is your sheet. You do it however you want. Like, if you want all the emotions, go for it. Like, whatever makes sense for you. And then write mantras or beliefs that must be true in order for this to happen. So if you have a money goal, if you want to make so much money a month, right, I am a money magnet. Money flows to me. Money wants to be with me. Like write that stuff. And I am not joking. I told you I'm into hippy dippy stuff. I'll go tap in my face saying money wants to be with me, because I believe in this crazy universe crap. I don't know why. I just do. So my husband's like, what are you doing? And just keep, the last thing I would say is you keep going around until you like literally feel settled. That's what I would advise. So like when I do mine, I just keep kind of going around the circle of, and when I say going around the circle, I meant like, here's the month of July, like go around everything you wrote. And when you're finally like, okay, yep, we good, then you're good. You're good. The last thing I would suggest is that you then post it somewhere you'll see it every day. Every single day. And look at it. And remind yourself, because our emotions are so freaking finicky. It's so easy to forget what you actually want if you don't get intentional about reminding yourself. That's right. That's right. Money wants to be with me. I love it. You know, money has an energy. If you have a negative mindset about money, you won't get it. It will not come to you. Money wants to have fun. Money wants to be spent. Money wants to be appreciated. Like I'm telling you, I can't even tell you all my hippy dippy stuff I believe now, but like you have to actually go for it. So, yeah, right, Alex. There's actually a book. I guess I'll make a plug for one of my favorite books. It's called Get Rich, You Lucky Bitch. And it really helped me a lot with a lot of money things, and also the illusion of money. Those were huge in my journey on money stuff. So without further ado, oh my God, my kid is naked army crawling behind me. Like there's no reason for her to even be here. All her clothes are in her room. Like, what is she doing? I don't know. And she's laughing. All right. So with that said, it's 8:30. And what I like to do at this point in the presentation is I like to first take any questions people have. And then I like to give us about 15 minutes so you can get started on your intentions. And then I like to let people share out anything they want to share about where they're at. And so this is where I always say, if you're like, oh, I'm good, you're ready to peace out, that's cool. Like totally cool. It can just be the people who want to chill and do intentions. It's fine. But I would love to take any questions you have and really help you with this. Okay. Was the first vision board a yearly or a life one, and then do monthly of what you want? So I personally did a yearly vision board. So that one you saw was for the year of 2021. When I have been asked to dream further, where do you want to be in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? It's almost impossible for me. Like I will tell you, I don't have that level of visioning yet to dream that big. And I'm working to get there. But dream as big as you're able to dream and actually dream. Like if you ask me where I want to be in 10 years, I'll be like, I want $5 million. But like that doesn't really resonate with me because I don't actually see myself as someone who has $5 million because it's too big of a jump. So for me, I like the 1 year board. It feels realistic. Are there any other questions?
Hey, yeah.
All right.
Can you help me just, I'm really good about the goals. And then I guess for me, I struggle with intentions, like putting the emotion behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So can you kind of speak a little bit more about that, please?
Right.
Thanks.
Do you have a specific goal in mind right now? Like any one of your goals that can you tell me one goal?
Yeah. I want to get enough money to make a fence for my dogs.
Okay. So to get that money, I want you to think, because there's a couple of things going on here. There's the emotion about how you'll feel about the actual fence, right? So like that, why is that fence important to you? Like there has to be a reason you want this fence.
Because it'll keep them safe.
Okay. So that part of the emotion is important to acknowledge, right? So I want this fence because I want my dogs to be safe, because I am a person who loves my dogs. I care deeply about my pets. They're like my family. You know what I mean? Like, so you can tap into your like emotion around your pet. Now, the other emotion though is as you're making that money, how do you want to feel about yourself as you're earning the money? Do you know what I mean? Like how, like,
I mean, I want to feel proud because I did this.
Okay.
You know.
Is there more there?
Accomplished, proud, and I'm like their safekeeper because I'm like their mom. They're my children. I don't have kids, so they are my kids.
There you go. You just named all your emotions. I mean, you were able to do it with no trouble at all. Like, so you're not gonna like go sell your body on the street for like your dog fence. Well, you might, like maybe in your 20s. No. No, but I'm just saying, like, you want to do this in a way that makes you proud, which means you don't want to treat people crappy. You don't want to, my guess is you don't want to kill yourself trying to get to this money. You want it to be something that's pleasurable for you. You want it to be something that's serving others. You want it to be something that when you see that fence every day, you can look at it and be like, yeah, I did that, right? Like that's something I was able to do for my dogs that made all of our lives better because I worked hard. Like, and so those would be the kind of emotions you're trying to tap into. Does that help? Okay. Are there any other questions? Okay, before we start to work, I do want to say that I was doing these every month, and I talked to Kelly and I said I don't want to keep doing them every month because I was feeling a little too overwhelmed. However, this is going to now be recorded. So I can't recommend enough that you do this every month. Like you could go back through and just fast forward to the parts where whatever I was saying you need clarity on again. But this is really good stuff. I mean, do these every month, post it in the team page when you're done. Like show people, speak it into the world, show what you want to do. So with that said, I am going to share my screen again and put it on. If anyone wants a specific page, you can tell me. But if you don't tell me a specific one, I'll leave it on this one. And we'll give it about, do you guys think 10 minutes is enough to just get some thoughts started and to be able to share? Okay, so for 10 minutes, let me see if I can figure out some music for us. Maybe. Give me a minute.
You know, and so while you're looking at music, I'll say as far as like when we were doing this, when we got started, and you kind of pointed out this, that sometimes your stuff changes, right? Maybe not so much in a monthly goal, but we did the 1, 5, 10-year deal from a Jim Rohn. And it's funny because, you know, I think on our 5-year goal was to live in Utah near Zion National Park. And on one of our trips, we actually went and looked at houses out there. But obviously that goal changed, but that's okay. But this is such a crucial part of not just being a successful coach, but a successful person, right? And you know, it's funny because it made me think about one time we were at an improv show with a bunch of coaches, and they were doing this skit where they pulled somebody from the audience, and they were like, what are your goals? And the person was like, and you know, like had zero answers. And like my whole row of people was like, oh man, ask me my goals. I've got them written down. I can show their catalog. So it's really important. Thank you for sharing this with us. Now I'm going to be quiet so we can get to work.
That's totally cool. All right, guys, I love Tom Petty, so you're down with Tom tonight. Can you hear it okay? Better? No. Well, maybe I'll have to play it on my computer. Hold on. Sorry, I took away your visual for a minute. Well, if we're gonna do this, I'm gonna do my favorite Tom Petty song then. Could you hear that or not? Yeah? Okay.
But I ain't got wings coming down. It's the hardest thing. Now the good old days may not return. Yes, and the rocks might melt and the sea may burn. Time. say life will beat you down, and it'll break your heart, steal your crown. So starting out for God knows where, but I guess I'll know when I get there. I'm learning to fly, oh, but I ain't got wings. And coming down is the hardest thing. I'm learning to fly, oh, but I ain't got wings. I'm learning to fly over my trouble, over my worry. Oh, yes it is, yes it is. One day I'll learn to fly, and I'll fly over my worry. I'll fly over my trouble. Oh, yes it is, yes it is. Sing it out, baby. There you go. One day I'll rise up and fly over my trouble. Yeah, I'll fly over my worries. Oh, baby, that's the hardest thing.
That didn't do it.
How do you keep a workout fresh every day?
Clap it up, Peloton. Let's do this.
What? Time. Get rid of them. I can't even find my YouTube.
It's crazy about Elvis, loves horses, and your boyfriend too. And it's a long day, living in Reseda. There's a freeway running through the yard, and I'm a bad boy, 'cause I don't even miss her. I'm a bad boy for breaking her heart. I'm free. I'm free falling. Yeah, I'm free. I'm free falling. Of the vampires walking through the valley, move west down Ventura Boulevard, and all the bad boys are standing in the shadows, and the good girls are home with broken hearts. I'm free. I'm free falling. Yeah, I'm free. I'm free falling.
All right. Well, if that didn't make your freaking night, I don't know what's wrong with you. Tom Petty is the jam. Okay, so I'm going to share real quick what I came up with. Just this is not for comparison. Last month, I barely did it. I barely wrote anything during the meeting, and then I never did mine. And so I wanted to throw down some things. But my things that I'm writing, I'm going to be 2-star qualifying. I am doing power hours 6 days a week. My team knows I'm working on power hours intentionally. It's making a huge difference for me. Best summit ever. This will by far be the best summit of my entire coaching career. I can't wait. And then I want to look into a texting service with my customers. So those were the things I wrote down. Oh, and make family memories in Myrtle Beach. The emotional stuff I wrote for me, I want to be present in the moment. I didn't write this down. I think I'm going to. I need to put my phone down. I need to put my freaking phone down. I need to put my phone down. My husband's like, yeah. So that needs to happen. And then look for the positive intention and assume the best. Specifically from that guy in there. Sometimes I get a little salty with him. So I need to look for a little more, realize that everything doesn't have to be like a fight. And I just want to serve. I want to have a heart that just feels like I'm serving others. So is there anyone else who wants to share? You don't have to share everything. You can share one thing. You can share a struggle, a success, anything you want. But is there anyone who wants to share something from tonight?
Yeah, let me finish typing what I'm typing here, and then I'll share mine.
Okay, Sandy wants to share, so we'll let her go, and you can then go. Sandy, what you got? Oh, you drew. I love it.
You can't see, but anyway, I've got on there like, it's not going to happen now, but I'm going to plan for a road trip to New Mexico. And the intent behind that is because my heart aches to see my daughter. It's been 2 years since I've seen my daughter, and she might be 40 years old, but still she's my baby. She's one of my babies. So I want to go see her. The other thing was I want to kayak a lake a week. We have lots of lakes around here, but the idea is to shut off the electronic. It's hard to be on the electronics when you're out kayaking.
Right.
So.
Sandy, when you finish, please post that. Please post it somewhere. A team page, main page, whatever you want. But that's really cool.
And, just things like grow food, can reconnect with the earth, unite family. We've got a very fractured family. I'm always trying to work on reuniting the family.
Wow.
So.
That's powerful stuff, Sandy.
And be creative.
Don't forget, there's power in what you just did, guys. This isn't just to Sandy, it's to everyone. Like, there's a lot of power in what you just did. So that's really inspiring. What were you gonna say, call host? You gotta unmute.
It's my first time on a call. So, I didn't do anything fancy yet, but, I'm more just to write my stuff down. Power hours is awesome. And you know what, I'm going to commit to 5 a week. Right. And I'm going to fix this because to begin with, I just wrote power hours, right? But goals are specific, and you can't just be like, hey, I'm going to do power hours this month, because if I did 2, then mission accomplished.
Right.
And, and one of the other things that I would remind myself as I'm looking at my list is I like to use the words at least in front, right? So, because I wrote 10 points, 10 Success Club points for my account. And that should say at least, because otherwise, when you reach that goal, if you reach it early, then you can let off the gas. I want to be 10 pounds lighter. I need working coaches, like my own working coaches. I work at a lot of people, a lot of you are on this call. But as far as me finding working coaches, I'm struggling with that. And then some of this other stuff isn't going to mean anything to y'all, but it's on my board. So I need to finish one of my little toy armies that I'm working on. I got 2 printers that I want them both working. I want in July we're going to have 2 date nights with Cody. Our freezer, somebody left it open, so it's like giant block of ice. I got to fix that instead of just closing it and being like, okay, we'll just use that later. 3% growth in my stock portfolio. 95% workout consistency with 645. And I can't even read what I wrote there. Oh, you know what? I did. I wrote power hours 4 times a week at the bottom. I put it on the list twice. So I was kind of there.
9 times a week. You're doing 9 times a
right?
week. Powerhouse.
So that's my list.
That's awesome. I was going to say one thing because Chris reminded, so he talked about the at least. And Lori this morning, she's not here right now, but Kelly saw this interaction between Lori and I. She said, my goal is to get 20 sample workouts out, but I'm shooting for 10. And I said, wait a minute. If you say you're shooting for 10, then what that tells me is that you believe 10. So don't say your goal is 20. Like, you don't have to set a goal. You set the goal that's in your heart, not the one that is in your head. And then that conversation, I actually think she changed it at the end to the 20, because she said, no, I want to go with the 20. But if you write down a goal that doesn't resonate with here, it's really unlikely. And you got to dream past where you are, but you also can't go past where you're able to imagine, right? Like if your goal, what did I hear? I heard like on one of my, I think it was in the Get Rich You Lucky Bitch book, like she was talking about shopping at more expensive stores. But she said, if you're like, and I don't know expensive stores, maybe I should ask someone on the call who does, but I don't know any expensive stores because I don't go to any of them. But she's like, if you're currently shopping at thrift stores, like your goal probably isn't going to be whatever is the frou-frou, like Rodeo. I went to Rodeo Drive one time. I was sick to my stomach. It didn't resonate. Like I couldn't handle it. So that wouldn't be your goal, right? Like maybe your goal is you want to move up to Target. Like, and then maybe after you get past Target, you want to move up to Victoria's Secret or what, like whatever. But your goal has to resonate with your heart and not be something that you externally feel a pressure for. So is there anyone else that wanted to share tonight?
I kind of wanted to share just a couple of things because I don't know if I've ever actually talked on a meeting, but I always listen. But I actually kind of started working on this yesterday because I told you we've been at teacher PDs all week and it's been awful. So I had some ideas that I was like kind of working on inside. So I like to make things, like create things. I hand letter a lot, like I like to write and draw. So it came in the mail today. We ordered a Cricut. So my goal is between that and like wood and lettering projects to make 5 projects this month. Just because like that's super, I don't know, it's super fun for me. I would what did I say? I'm gonna make $500 in my business this month. I'm going to wake up each day excited and positive. I'm gonna wake up that way. And then in my relationship, I said an intentional date night with my fiance. Right now it's just kind of really crazy with us. The summertime, his work is ridiculous, and then this summer it feels like I'm not really on summer break because I'm taking 2 classes and I'm almost finished with my master's, so I'm like kind of drowning in schoolwork, but I'm almost there. So definitely and be intentional about a date night so we can, spend some time together. And then I also I'm going to add 4 coaches this month, and I'm going to make Success 10. And then I want to start saving. I didn't put an amount down yet just because I'm not 100% sure on that. I need to kind of think a little bit, but save money for a new refrigerator. So.
Wow. That was awesome.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Is there anyone else?
Girl, you know I'm gonna share. So I also created a little thingy-majig on my own, because that's what I do. So I already talked about the fence for the dogs. I want to help at least 5 new people, and then some of them are just like, you know, things that are on like legit things that I want to do. Enough water, complete the MBF before I start 6:45. Big one for me is meditate on Monday. I chose a Monday to do that. I make banging hot sauces, so I'm going to make at least 3 per month. Eating some fruits and vegetables, and then running 3 times a week are some other big ones. But just, it's like things that I know that I need to do and that I should do, but it's also like I need to legit like remind myself. But for each one, I made like a stupid little picture. It's not stupid. It's like a fun little picture, like little dog paw on like a fence and like little water and like I've been working on a fire pit and it's like killing me. It's like, so I made like a fire pit thing. So just like, I'm a very visual person. So I had to get it done. So that's it.
I love it. I'm so jealous of you who think in pictures. Like, I wish I thought in pictures. That's so much cooler, Sandy.
I'm definitely going to post it to our group because it's actually kind of fun. People who are like visual people, I feel like I'm going to do it.
Now, I will tell you guys that this, if you chose to post it to your personal page, people want to rally for you. Like they do. Like, guess what? You post that you want to make $500 this month in your Beachbody business, you have put that into the world. And that doesn't mean you're making people sign up for you. But I'm going to tell you, guys, I have bought crap. I bought makeup from some makeup chick just because I like her. Like, and I think a lot of us have. Like, but, and now I got some Tupperware girl who's really annoying. And she's like, will you send my link to 10 people? I'm like, no, but I don't say no because I'm not that forward. I probably would have ghosted you if we were dating. I don't know. But, I just, you know, like the people, like when you put that out there, someone who's been thinking about it and watching, they actually might like that. And then you might get people talking to you about other things. And I'll definitely tell you, you'll get people talking to you about just, oh, I don't do that, or I do that, or I wish I did that, or how did you do that, or why did you choose that? Like, it's such a great thing. If you do this every month and you share it with the world and you make it a thing, it really can be that another thing that just drives your business forward. So please use this not only for you, but if you're comfortable, put it out there. And do not, for 1 minute, I've talked about money a few times on here, do not be ashamed to say financial things out loud. So being a teacher, there's some other teachers on here. We've got some issues normally with the finances, okay? We got some messed up stuff because we're in this profession where apparently we're supposed to work for very little money and we're not supposed to want money because teachers are in it for the outcome, not the income. That's what we're told. And so if you're a teacher, you might have some issues in this area, and it's okay to just share that with people. It's okay. So I think I'm off my soapbox. It's definitely been a long meeting. Like, I get it. You're ready to go, but this is recorded and you are more than welcome every month to tap this and use it to drive yourself forward. And my favorite thing tonight was that I think when every single person shared, I do not believe they gave a Beachbody goal first, which means that what you took away from this, well, maybe Chris did actually, he said power hour, but but most of the people said something that was not Beachbody related. And I do believe what will move your business forward is finding your balance within yourself so you can show up for Beachbody, right? Like you're not supposed to be a Beachbody coach for the 16 hours you're up a day. You're supposed to be a person, and this is supposed to feed your soul. That's why all of us coach. And so make sure that you find that balance. It's easy to lose it. So thanks, guys.
Can I make one announcement? I don't know if Chris wants to stop the recording so this isn't on the.
I can. Hold on a second.
That sounds like it's juicy. Oh my